After 6 years of going to war in Glasgow, Greg Taylor's packed it all in to go to war in Greece. Welcome back to Fog Football. He's putting on the war paint, he's got the black and white on it, but is this move as black and white as it seems? He's left Celtic on a free, he's joined P to the A to the O to the K, and has he just had enough winning trophies at Celtic, or does he feel like he's being pushed out the door by a certain Kieran Tierney?
Yes, well, I think it was pretty obvious when the Kieran Tierney deal was agreed for him to return to Celtic that perhaps Greg Taylor was on borrowed time and that we all knew that Tierney was going to come in. And let's be honest, he's going to be the number one. I don't even think it's a position that Taylor can realistically even fight for. Yeah, we've seen left backs come in the past and Taylor's fought them off and kept his spot as the number one, but I don't even think he's got that option with Tierney because we know how good Tierney is and how good he can be. To me, Tierney is one of those few players in the Scottish Premiership that will be an automatic starter. I just do not see any way that I think Tierney could come in and be shite for months and still keep that position ahead of Taylor. So yeah, not surprised that Taylor's left. Fact that his contract was running out and they agreed that deal for Tierney, that's probably what his, made up his mind to leave the club. Maybe Celtic should have got Greg Taylor to sign a contract extension, sign a new deal before they announced Kieran Tierney. Would that have been a bit shady for the club doing that on Taylor? I don't know, but at least they could have got some money for the guy if they decided that he decided he wanted to leave this summer. But yeah, Kieran Tierney coming in, and for me, people were saying, well, Greg Taylor is still going to play a lot of games. Kieran Tierney's not going to be fit for every game, but Greg Taylor doesn't want to be at Celtic knowing that I'll play some games, but it won't be the good games. Does Greg Taylor want to stay there so Celtic can play Kilmarnock, or does he want to be in the Champions League games? Does he want to be in the Old Firm games? And likelihood is, I mean, if Kieran Tierney is fit for those matches, he'll play 100% of the time. So,
and there's no 100% guarantee that Tierney is going to pick up 3 injuries a season.
Well, no, it's not even that though. People are saying, well, he'll be rested because they won't want to risk the amount of games Celtic play. Tierney won't be playing them all, but I mean, that doesn't mean Taylor's going to stick around so he can play the less important games.
Yes, when it comes to crunch Champions League games and European games and semi-finals and the Cup finals, and Tierney's there to be played, he'll be playing over Greg Taylor. I don't blame Greg Taylor for leaving. He spent 6 years. Yeah, he spent 6 years at the club, 5 league titles, 3 Scottish Cups, 3 League Cups. He won the treble in 2022-23, so tell you what, I think he's just a guy that's underappreciated by most. Can't fault what he's won.
Yeah, maybe he won't get his true appreciation until he leaves the club, and that's obviously happened now. So,
is there a situation where Tierney's return turns out to be a gigantic flop? Or is Tierney kind of protected in the sense of people are expecting Celtic to win leagues and cups anyway, so he'll be masked by that?
I don't think there's any way Tierney's return will be a flop from a performance standpoint. I mean, maybe an injury standpoint, availability standpoint, potentially. I mean, could we see a situation where Tierney's getting injured quite a lot and he's missing a lot of games, and then Celtic don't really have the quality to replace him in that position? I mean, I think we could see a scenario where multiple times throughout the season, Celtic fans are wishing, I wish we'd kept Greg Taylor. But I don't think it's going to be anything to do with Kieran Tierney being poor. I think if it's going to happen, it'll be more likely down to the fact he's just missing games.
I agree, but let's talk about the team he's joined. Paok. So, the Greek team, could Greg Taylor have got better than them? I mean, potentially, but we've seen in recent years that a lot of players in this league end up going to Greece. I think it's a decent enough move for him.
Name them.
Goldson, Balogun, Jose Cervantes.
Other Rangers rejects.
Other Rangers rejects. Could name a few more, if you want me to continue.
Aye, go for it.
Duke did, didn't he?
I think he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. There's plenty, man. There's hundreds of them. There's millions of them. And you're sitting there saying, name them. There you go, I just named a bunch of them.
Hold on, I asked you to name them. You named 3. Then I said,
well, hold on. I said a bunch of players in this league have went to the Greek league, and you've went and named them as if you expect me to whip out the yellow pages and be like, here's 1,000 of them.
Well, you did say there's a million of them, so like, figure of speech, aye. But
I was a figure of speech. That's all right then. We'll move off Greg Taylor and we'll move on to the biggest club.
No, let's continue talking about Greg Taylor. So
talk about Hearts, sir.
Biggest team in the land, you say?
Aye.
believe it's a 2-year deal he signed with Paok, or is it free?
I am not too sure what he signed.
This shitty article you've got up ain't revealing it. So.
Shitey article. It's it's BBC Sport. What else do you want?
Yeah, I stand by it. Shite.
Shite. Yo, doesn't matter. Well, to put it this way, they're seeded in the Europa League third qualifying round. They could take on Rangers. If Rangers go against Panathinaikos, Greg Taylor could get that reunion against Rangers.
Imagine that. Imagine Greg Taylor knocking Rangers out of Europe.
Well, put it this way, he's joining a team, right, that finished lower than Panathinaikos, and that, Panathinaikos, that Turkish team, I said that Rangers are going to scud them. Absolutely batter them. There's no two ways about it. I've put my neck on the line.
Who?
Panathinaikos.
That Turkish team?
Aye, that Cypriot Turkish team. They're not Greek, mate. That's Turkish.
What?
Aye, they're Turkish. What are you being?
What are you fucking talking?
It's a wind up.
I don't get it.
Because they don't like being called that.
What, Greek?
Aye. No, they like being called Greek, you dick, but I'm winding them up by calling them Turkish.
Alright.
You're not aware of what happened in that region?
No.
Wars and all that shite. So I'm ripping the piss clean at them.
Right, fair enough.
I'm sure.
Well, why they got an issue with it, but the other teams don't, or do they all have an issue?
I'm sure they've all got issues with it, but the point is, Rangers are playing Panathinaikos. I've got no real beef with Olympiacos and other Greek teams and all that good stuff. Anyway, I think Rangers are going to scud Panathinaikos, but that's for a different story another day. But speaking of Rangers, it's a goal for Joe, and I used that earlier, and I'll use it again. Joe Rothwell at Leeds last season won them a lot of games, helped them get promoted to the Premier League. Leeds wanted to keep him, but the 49ers went, you're a bit of a diddy club, Leeds. He needs to go to Rangers. That's where the big boys play.
Did he drive up to Govan in his buggy?
He might have. Wonder do you get it, brother? It's like,
will he have any legs when he's taking on Celtic?
He's a drag up the road. Anyway,
he's a drag off the pitch and pish.
I think this is actually a pretty good side, and it's not your typical championship player. I think he's actually all right, and you know what? It's being hyped up, maybe overhyped by some people, but it's refreshing to see Rangers do a bit of business finally. Feels like it's been fucking too long.
Yeah, they're playing catch up. I think they'll just be a bit relieved to be getting another player in the door.
Here, the door's open. I'm willing to take players left, right, and centre. Club Bruges on Sunday. Friendlies beginning. Rapido. Panathinaikos, that wee diddy Turkish team. 21 days away. 3 weeks away. There is no time like the present. Can't be getting knocked out of that and then be like, oh. Because you know what? See, as of right now, Russell Martin's got the excuse book ready. Haven't signed anybody.
Yep.
But I would say here that, you know what, to cool that, I don't think Rangers need to sign anybody to beat Panathinaikos, but they need to sign people to get through the Champions League. That's what I would say on that. But Joe Rothwell, hopefully he'll be announced soon. Hell, maybe in the transfer recap show later on the night, he could be confirmed. But that's all we've got. Greg Taylor, he has joined Paok. Good move for him. Will we see him back in Scottish football, Greg Taylor? I think we will.
Possibly. I mean, maybe he'll end his career coming back to Scotland. Could happen.
Could happen. Could he add to those league titles potentially? Could he take Paok for being a diddy third place team to the top dogs in Greece? We'll have to find out. Till next time, peace.